Good evening, everybody. Sorry, just if we can have your attention, I know the counselors are eager to get this event going, and so we've been fortunate to be given a little bit of time to talk about our school and our school culture. I want to thank all of you for attending tonight. It's really exciting to have families back in our building. Before COVID, we had lots of these events where we could welcome our future grade 8s and parents so they can see what the Riverside culture was about and what makes Riverside a very special place. My name is Brian G, and this is Susan Henderson, and we are part of a team that looks after some of the technology in our school and some of the innovation. We believe Riverside is a very special place. Staff, students, the community, we really feel that this is a place that is special. Many of our staff have their children come here, and many of the staff have been here for a long time just because we love it. Over the past 10 years, we've been on a digital journey where we wanted to try to provide our students the best opportunities to learn, display their passions, and explore opportunities that didn't exist in the past. And so we have the opportunity to talk to you briefly about innovation, inquiry, design, and technology at Riverside, and answer some questions possibly for you. And then Ms. Henderson here, Susan, is going to talk about the opportunities for students. So welcome. First of all, tech suggestions. We know that middle schools have a lot of technology and a range of support that's available for them. You know, take a moment just to look up there. You know, we do support iPads, Windows tablets. Tablet devices are supported. Not recommended Chromebooks and Android tablets. You can see kind of the minimum requirements there, and we want to make sure this is clear just because the transition from middle school to high school, often some of the programs that students use in their courses require more memory, more RAM, a little bit more powerful devices. You know, iPads are great devices, but sometimes they're often difficult to learn with because in a lot of your courses, keyboards are required, right? Can they work, and do students make it work? For sure, it's doable. Not recommended Chromebooks and Android tablets, and the reason why is not because they're not great devices, it's because Office 365 isn't supporting those programs in School District 43. And so students can work on those programs online. However, they're not able to download the desktop versions. And those versions are much more powerful, all right? Every student here has the opportunity of 1 terabyte of online storage. So if you don't know what that means, that's fine. It's a lot. It's a lot of storage. And so you can see where it says recommendations. You know, do students have to have devices with lots and lots of memory? Not necessarily, because we're hoping that when they transition here, most of their work will be stored in the cloud, on their OneDrives. I think that's where everything should be stored, because if you're in our job and you come to the library and someone goes, I've spilled water all over my laptop, it doesn't work. Can you fix this? We can't, right? And all their work is gone. And so saving in the cloud and being able to share their information, their work with their students and the staff makes things easier. And so there's a package. When you're on your way out, you can see on the screens a QR code will pop up. Obviously, you can just use your QR code, and there's a digital package with more information for you to have if you need to. But we wanted to share that with you before you start shopping for devices or looking for them, and maybe you have a great device already. You do not need to go buy a brand new device. Parents, do not get suckered into buying something really, really expensive, okay? You know, something functional in this window right here is perfect and suitable, okay? And then, you know, there's a lot of questions about how do our students get supported here, and we've put in place a lot of support mechanisms. So we have the WAVE, which is our tech support. It's centered in the library, which is the center of our school. The library is the hub of our school. And in there is an area where there's tech team students who support the WAVE. There are staff there throughout the day, and there's always someone there who can offer physical support to students. We also have an online WAVE, so students can log on to one of our teams, and if they want online support, they can receive that as well. We run a digital boot camp for all grade 8s transition to grade 9 on the first day of school, where all grade 9s are welcome here, and we set them up with all the basic foundational tools that they need. And then obviously we have this amazing makerspace. Again, over the past 10 years, the library has gone through a transformation. We believe it's one of the most special places, probably in SD43, with a ton of opportunity. We want to showcase some of the amazing things our students have done and are doing, what our staff are doing, to kind of inspire you to see kind of what education is like here at Riverside. And then lastly, grade 8s as they come into grade 9 are all part of a COL course, the applications of digital learning. And you can see some of the key points there. We don't just simply say, here's technology, use it. We want to layer in a variety of different tools so they can use technology in a healthy, successful way. You know, a big part of that is their digital footprint. How are they using technology? How are they interacting with it? Are they just consuming it? Or are they using it for learning? Right? How do I have some discipline with it? I think we know with technology, those are all challenges we all have to work with, which are the barriers and how to balance the use of it. How to improve organizational skills. And this course is layered through the core classes for all grade 9s throughout the entire year. And Mr. Barazal and Mr. Robinson, they're the teachers of that class, and they work with the teachers to build these tools into the curriculum already as an existing course for the students. And so I want to share this with you so you get an idea of how we take care of these students coming to Riverside. We're excited to have you. Welcome to the Rapid Nation. And I want to pass the microphone off to Mrs. Henderson here.
And I just want to quickly mention, hello, I'm Susan Henderson, that we are recording this for streaming later. And all of this information that is being presented here is also on the tab on our public site under one-to-one. So that's our one-to-one devices, and it has recommendations and all of this kind of information, right, G? So I always get the fun part to talk about the possibilities. And so our library has undergone a huge change. I hope you all got to walk through and see some of the, our library is not maybe the library that I had in high school. I wonder if you have that experience as well. And really it's about our communal desire to move our kids from engaged to empowered. And what that means is engaged means interested and involved and kind of into learning, but empowered takes that energy and that knowledge and that capacity and runs with it. And they become people who can take action in their community. They're people who can do for themselves, they're people who can learn and become the kind of member of our community that we want to see. And that's the empowerment piece. And we're hoping that this space will allow them to have those kinds of opportunities. So we call it a space, a place, and the tools. So we have a maker space in the Library Learning Commons, and we also carry all the equipment that a student might need to use to do the things that you guys saw. All of that is on loan in the library, so that it's an open house to everyone to use the equipment to do podcasting, to use the microbits and all those sensors that you saw in the maker space. Those are all on loan from us. And it also allows them to choose what they're passionate about and pursue it. And so this is an example of community engagement where we get to bring people in and kids get to learn from them, but it's also partnerships that we're trying to create in our community. This has a story. So Bree Miro, who is a science teacher here in our school, ran this amazing class, and this was one of her assignments. And kids were meant to imagine how they could help a student with a disability using their design principles and using the tools that we have within the school. And so this group of students actually came up with a bunch of prototypes to make it happen. A student who is visually impaired, who has a cane, that when she sits down at a desk, the cane might go on the floor or it has to go into the backpack behind her, and sometimes she needs help to get her cane. So these kids came up with this clasp that is adjustable, that can be clipped onto any desk or table that she sits at, and a student crocheted the holder, and her cane fits in the holder for that student to be able to immediately access their cane. And that was all done through a science class where the kids imagined and created, and then every group's design were different and just as equally thoughtful and caring and using their science knowledge for good. Stop motion is another, and podcasting is a really big thing for us, and we have all the equipment for you to use and for them to express their understanding. The whole design process, so these students, they all designed their own clothing. They created these designs on paper or on their iPad, and we converted them into an SVG document so that it could cut on the Cricut that you saw out in the lobby, and then they heat press them onto their own original designs. So from beginning to end, they can create anything they can make in their minds. And peer tutoring and the WAVE, which G mentioned, is really important. Your kids can come to the library for help from other kids, from grown-ups, from tech experts. It's a place where they can come for help. Lastly but not leastly is we have a digital presence, and so we have this up everywhere, and please follow us. We try to put out what's going on, and we also have an app that Riverside app that we have that pumps out information to families as well, so you can always stay connected. Basically, for me, it's an exciting place to be, and what we're trying to do is provide opportunities for your students. And we're really excited about all of our future Rapids, and thanks for coming tonight.